know, one of the things the teacher asked me the other day is, how do we take attendance? He said, I got 70 learners, and I can't even get 70 learners on my screen at one time, regardless of the tool I'm using. I need this thing to take attendance. And I said, well, you can take attendance like this, or you can even assign a grade based on attendance. I mean, you can put it in a zero-weighted category and not give them a grade, but that's a part of the built-in process to the LMS. In the COVID situation I find myself in, 40% of my learners don't even have internet access. So what we're trying to do is push them notifications as to when class is going to start, so that bare minimum they know they can dial in. I, as a teacher, don't have time to push notifications to learners. That's the job of the LMS plugin. That's why we do this, right? So all of the things that would help me transition to this are built into this plugin, and this plugin is no cost to you. It's not like you buy a Webex subscription, then you turn around and buy the plugin for your LMS. The link that I gave you walks you, if you already have a Webex subscription and you already have a learning management system. And by the way, if you don't have a Webex subscription, I think Dahlia just right up front said, hey, we can help you with that. I mean, so reach out to one of these ladies that are on this call and say, hey, get a brother or sister hooked up for 90 or 120 days so we can at least play with this stuff. Dahlia will be right on it. Sarah will be right on it. They get you propped up, and you can plug it right into the LMS you already live in. And that link I gave you is the actual link to do that. Okay, so the teachers got it set up. They know what they want to do with this. How do they operate it? How difficult is this to do? Well, here we go. I'm going to hit virtual meetings. These are my classes, remember? Virtual meetings equals classes, which is large group instruction. I'm going to hit new meeting. Come in here and I'm going to say this is the live class session. It's going to start today, April the 30th. This is how long it's going to go, and I can change that. Here are my different flavors of WebEx, and these flavors are beyond the scope of today's live engagement, but one of the links that Sarah put inside the chat was, want to get started with different flavors? Here's how to. So scroll up just a little bit in the chat and you'll see the link, and you'll see all the different flavors. You'll see teams, you'll see training, you'll see events, you'll see meetings. You can click on any of those, and there's a series of videos for you right now to go access and go through how you operate those. So you choose the flavor. I'm sorry.
Dr. Ford, we have a question regarding flavors. So Derek said we have WebEx Meetings and WebEx Teams desktop app installed on all of our user machines. We have WebEx boards on our school sites, but we've been using the meeting app instead of Teams. Which is better? Should we only use one or both, or etc.?
So this is the right tool for the right task at the right time, Derek. Conversation. And again, my Cisco brethren may beg to differ, but you're hearing this from the classroom teacher who gets to live the nightmare. I mean, the opportunity, right? The virtual meetings, okay, which is WebEx Meetings, as you see. WebEx Meetings gives me maximum control down to the individual user of you're muted, you're unmuted. You can share, you can't share. You've unmute yourself one too many times, I'm sending you out to the hall. In WebEx Ease, it's called the lobby, right? Then I'll let you cool off and I bring you back into class in 5 minutes, just like I normally would, okay? It's the flavor that allows me to say, listen, I've sent you to the hall twice, you're expelled. Once I expel you, you're to the principal's office, right? And there are records of all of that. So the WebEx Meetings platform gives me what I would call micromanaging capabilities of my classroom. The WebEx Teams platform, and I'm a Southeast Oklahoma boy, when I'm not dressed like this, I'm in Carhartts on a John Deere tractor. So forgive my isms, okay? WebEx Teams is campfire come to Jesus, okay? We're all sitting around a campfire. I'm the teacher. Sometimes I'm the learner. You're the learner. Sometimes you're the teacher. I start drawing something. You have a brilliant idea as to how you think it should go, and you just jump right in and go. I'm messaging, communicating like this, and all of a sudden you're like, no, I don't agree with that. Okay. In WebEx Meetings, I can say, you can't message right now. You can't message at all. You can message him, but you can't message her. In the WebEx Campfire, Come to Jesus experience of Teams, you message when you want to message. Now, granted, in Teams, I can flip a toggle and say, okay, this is locked, this is announcements only, and it turns into a broadcast modality. I can do that. But the forte of Teams, to me, is the small group instruction. And so once I'm just going to go ahead and create this real quick. I'm going to choose a couple of things and say this is going to happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays from now. Just scroll down just a little bit, just so you can see how this works. Okay, scroll down a little bit. So it's going to roll from now to the end of my semester, which is the 29th. Boom, and create. Okay, so now I have literally created the live class meeting session every Tuesday and Thursday from now to the end of May. You just watch me do it. If I hit record as a part of one of these scheduled things, underneath past meetings, that recording automatically appears. In fact, I'm working with the folks in Orange County right this second with a friend of mine named Mary. Let me go back here. What am I doing? Virtual meetings, past meetings. Okay, so here are the past meetings from some of these trainings. And you see where the recording button was hit, there's actually on-demand recordings. I don't want to interrupt anybody else's, who else is teaching in here, so I don't want to interrupt their flow. So I'm going to come down to the one I taught. Here's the on-demand recording, but right here, if I click join this one, since I was the teacher of this, check it out. I have the entire who showed up roster and what time they showed up, all in the LMS, all right here for me. So that is WebEx meetings. Now, to your point on WebEx Teams, I have the ability to say, we're in a live class. Now it's time to have our small group sessions. This is where we're going to do digital portfolios. This is where we're going to do project-based learning. And the reason we're going to do it here, as opposed to some breakout session in a live engagement, is because all of my small group projects expand beyond the confines of 9 to 9:50 on Tuesday and Thursday. I mean, I know that's not the case for everybody. Some teachers, somehow, they're better time managers than me, can get all their group work done while they're in class. If that's you, bully for you. That you're a much better teacher than I. When I do small group work, it ebbs and flows between live class, after class, which then becomes before the next class, and then back together. Until I had classroom collaboration, the only way my learners could do that was exchange personal information, cell phone numbers, Skype handles, FaceTime numbers, Twitter handles, and they would have to personally do this. I got a lot of students now who don't want to exchange personal information with other students in their class. Okay, so having this opportunity built into the LMS where they can work in these small groups, and most importantly, where I can see their work. Why is that important? I think it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Sometimes I'll have a learner come up to me and say, you know, Susie's in my group and she hasn't contributed at all. This entire time, she hasn't done anything. She hasn't come to any live meetings, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, what are you using? Well, we're exchanging all this stuff in this particular Google Drive doc, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, unless you share that with me, I can't get into it. I can't even know. Here, I can proactively see who said what when. I can see when you had a live engagement. I have a roster of those live engagements. So I can deal with those situations before they fester, I guess is the way I would say it. And just taking it to the other extreme here, sometimes people feel empowered behind a keyboard to say things that they wouldn't otherwise say face to face. If they drop an F-bomb in here or call somebody out a name or whatever, even if they delete it, my compliance officer can undelete it and tell you the date, the time, and the person who actually said it. They upload an inappropriate file thinking, oh, this is going to be cute. And then they delete it, right? Compliance officer undeletes it. So having them work in this environment allows me to put, my kids were little, we go to the bowling alley, we drop the little rubber thing so they can always feel like they at least hit one pin, right? It allows me to drop the bumpers on my class and keep the ball moving down the bowling alley on the specific topic that we need to cover. So that's how I'm using those two tools in conjunction with each other. I realize you have two different clients downloaded, and if your teachers and students have got a handle on that, that is awesome. A lot of the folks who are in total panic mode right now, if I threw them two clients, they'd just be doing one of these numbers, right? So putting it all in the LMS minus a client name and just saying, hey, you're in live class, hey, you're in small group, seems to resonate. I hope that was not too long of an explanation, but I wanted you to see how it actually works and not just trust me kind of deal.